Okay, first I'll start saying congratulations to Clay Matthews on being named a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Obviously, well deserved. So pulling for him. On the injury front, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's progressing through that concussion protocol, so we'll know more as the week goes on. Really, with everything going on with COVID-related, we're working through the protocols and just going to make sure that we stay in communication with the league and continue to keep everybody safe and also find a way to go get a win this weekend. So our coaches and players are working really hard virtually today, and we've had a bunch of meetings already this morning. We'll have some more this afternoon, and we're full speed ahead. We know well, they know us well, and then it's just got to put a plan together and again go find a way to get a win. With that, I will take any questions.
Thank you, Coach. The first question goes to Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Kevin, I guess we'll start out with, I'm sorry about all this. How are you feeling?
Tom, I'm good. I'll be fine. But really, my concern is for our players, for our coaches, and the team going forward.
I understand. When you found out the test was positive, I'm sure there was a mix of emotions at that point. How disappointed are you, Kevin, that you're not going to be able to be there on the field with your guys on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed for anybody that can't be a part of this, whether due to injury or whatever. I'm disappointed for Joel Bitonio, obviously. All of our guys that can't be a part of this is disappointing to me. But we have to find a way, and that's what our charge is, and that's what we're working on today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. The next question will go to Jake Trotter.
Yeah, Kevin, what's been the reaction from the players in light of the positive test, including to you?
I've been in touch with a bunch of them. They understand that we have a job to do, and they're excited to do that. So they know that this thing's not stopping for me or anybody. So they're full speed ahead.
Do you have contingencies in place for your offensive staff? Obviously, you're going to have to juggle some things around this week. I assume that AVP is going to be calling play Sunday. Is that correct? And then can you kind of go through your plan for some of the other guys, especially the ones that you're going to have to replace for Sunday?
Yeah, we have a plan, and then we'll work through all that, Jake. But yes, AVP will call the plays.
Thank you, Jake. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah. Can you just address why you chose Mike Prefer to oversee the whole operation, and do you think you will have Bill Callahan and maybe Chad O'Shea back for Sunday night?
Yeah, Mary Kay, I think with Coach Prefer, I think it always makes sense as the special teams coordinator deals with everybody on the team. He coaches every player. So I think it's a very natural place to go in an interim setting there where he can, not miss a beat, and then you let the offense and defense coaches focus on their side of the ball. So a ton of confidence in Coach Prefer. He knows this team very, very well, from a roster standpoint, but also based on how we play. So I have a full amount of confidence in him. And then with the rest of the staff, we'll just see how it goes, Mary Kay. I don't really have an update on anyone else.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Nate Ulrich, you're up.
Kevin, yesterday was such shocking news when the announcement was made. I'm just wondering, how did you find out, and then how did you address the team? What was your message to those guys about the situation? Not only yourself, but all the dominoes that fell as a result, and a couple more players.
Yeah, again, disappointing, Nate, for any of the guys that can't be involved in this. But we had a team meeting yesterday afternoon just to reassure them that we got a job to do. We'll make sure we keep everybody safe first and foremost. And then we'll get back to work and put a plan together to go on the road versus a really good football team. That's really pretty simple.
Thank you, Nate. Scott Petrick is next.
Hey, Kevin, are you guys allowed to practice today? Will the building be back open?
We're going to be virtual today, Scott, and then we'll take it really day by day. But we have planned a 1 o'clock virtual walkthrough with the players today.
And then do you know all the contract tracing from yesterday's back, and was anybody flagged there or from this morning's test?
I think it's all back. I do not believe we had any high-risk close contacts.
Okay, and last thing, you've been so careful and you're great wearing your mask on the sideline. Do you know how you got it?
I don't.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Daryl Ryder, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach, from your standpoint, with the exception of not being on the practice field, not being on the sideline Sunday. Are you, though, just proceeding as a normal week for yourself? In other words, are you just as involved as you would normally be in any other given week?
Yes. I got my setup here, got all the tape I need. We meet virtually anyway as a staff to put game plans together. So, again, that's very much business as usual. And then when we do get in the building and have a practice, obviously Coach Prefer will run that.
Thank you, Daryl. Dan Lobby has our next question.
Hey, Coach, kind of sticking with that thing about Coach Prefer running practice. Even though you can be involved, are there certain situations where you might step aside and let him handle some things you might just because he'll be the voice on the sideline on Sunday night?
I think the players understand, Dan, that it really doesn't matter who's the head coach on Sunday. They know how we play. They know what our identity is. Coach Preef will be the guy on Sunday. I have a ton of confidence in them. I know they do as well. He's a voice that they hear every day. I mean, every single day Coach Preef has special teams going. So I think they have a great amount of trust in him as well as do I.
Is it going to be a little strange to see him actually wearing a headset on the sideline?
I've seen it before. He was our interim coach for a Thursday night game with the Vikings, and he did a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Tony Grossi, you're up.
Hey, Kevin. It's a unique week, obviously. Even though you've been through this all year, this takes it another level. What do you see as the biggest challenge for your team to prepare for this game? Is it no practice time? Is it no coaches possibly being available? What's the biggest challenge?
I don't know what the biggest challenge is, Tony. I could just tell you that the team at every corner has taken on these challenges, whatever it has been. We've had weeks where we don't practice very much. We've had weeks where we were without players or without a coach. That's just the nature of the beast this season. But I think it speaks to the team's resilience that they're going to get their job done no matter what.
And can you tell us what your plan is at left guard at this point?
Yeah, we're going to work through it. Got some options there, Tony, but we're going to work through it. And obviously I want to get on the practice field first.
Thanks, Tony. Steve Dorshik, you're up.
Kevin, the Browns' losing streak at Pittsburgh is well known to all the fans. You've only been through one game at Pittsburgh yourself, but aside from just brushing it aside and say we have to treat it as a normal game and game plan as we always do, is there something special you have to do when you consider that the Browns are in such a long losing streak at Pittsburgh?
No, there's nothing special you need to do. It's the same team, that we played last week. I know they have some guys coming back, so they know us, we know them. I look forward to it being a great challenge and a great game, but nothing specific that you have to do differently. It's a big game. Everybody knows that. It's win or go home, just like last week was.
Thank you, Steve. Aditi Kinkawala has our next question.
Hi, Coach Stefanski. Without violating any privacy, is your family okay? Is everybody feeling all right?
Yeah, everybody's just fine, but I'd really prefer not to talk about me.
Okay, well then you speak very confidently about your team being able to play in your image on Sunday. Why are you so sure that the tone that you have set for the season is indeed in place? And sort of accompanying that, your assistant coaches have said all year that you're not a meddler, that you trust them to do what they do. Does that give you extra confidence that you're not the guy that's very heavy-handed on Sundays?
Well, I mean, this team's not in my image. It's the Cleveland Browns. We've established an identity. We did it back in the spring. We told the guys how we were going to play. We made sure that we brought players in here that fit that mold. And I think the guys understand perfectly how we play and how we win. So it doesn't change regardless of who's on the sideline.
Well, okay, so if I can follow that, you're being blithe in saying it doesn't matter to the coaches on Sunday if I'm there or not. What do you think is the most important thing that you do on Sunday?
It's I put my finger on a chart and I read, so that's not very hard. So AVP can definitely do that much better than I can.
Thanks, Aditi. Tom Withers is next.
Thanks, Rob. Kevin, can you help on Sunday? Will you help on Sunday?
I don't think I can based on the rules, Tom.
Okay. And in terms of the league, and I know this is all very fluid still, testing and what have you, under what scenario would this game be pushed back?
That's really something for the league. I can tell you we're in constant communication with Dr. Sills and Dawn and the entire league office. But that's really not for me to answer.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go back to Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Coach, can you address early on in this whole process? I remember you saying that you guys were going to make a vow that you were going to try to do the whole COVID-19 thing better than anybody, or at least as well as anybody else in the NFL. Given that you guys did that and worked so hard to go above and beyond the call of duty, how sort of surprising or disappointing is this that you guys find yourselves in this situation?
Yeah, Mary Kay, that it is frustrating. We've tried to go above and beyond, tried to do the right things, and we're going to continue to do that. You really have to double down on the protocols and trust in the protocols and make sure that everybody's safety is priority number one. But yeah, anytime where you're trying to follow the rules and you lose guys, it's obviously frustrating.
And we are assuming that you're asymptomatic because just sitting here talking to you, you seem perfectly fine. But is that true? Are you asymptomatic?
I'm just fine. But again, I'm worried about the other guys, not me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. To Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Kevin, just real quick, do you know, I think I missed this earlier, do you know that you have no positive test results among players and staff come back this morning?
Yes.
And then on the rules, I understand the communication rules the NFL has had for a long time, and they're saying they're sticking with it. Did you guys ask, hey, this is unprecedented, this is a playoff game. Did you ask if you would be able to communicate? Did you guys try?
Yeah, I don't know, Nate. I know what the rules are, and I'll follow them.
Thanks, Nate. We'll go to Jeff Shadell. Oh, sorry, Coach.
Kevin, at the very beginning, I remember you saying we have contingency plans for our contingency plans. So is this, because of that, do you think this could go as smoothly as possible this weekend on Sunday?
Well, we've talked about it. We've met on it, Jeff. It's similar to when a player goes down, you have a depth chart. So, it's the next person up, and we'll work through it as we, gather more information.
Thank you, Jeff. Scott Petrick, back to you.
Kevin, with Kadero out and Donovan in the protocol, what you're going to do at third receiver, and is Kareem an option for that role?
Yeah, we'll see how Donovan continues to come through this protocol, and we have options there, and obviously Kareem's an option.
And you had Richard and Jedrick got the police. They had that drag racing incident. Do you talk to those guys about it? And does it bother you that it happens during a playoff week?
Yeah, we've addressed it. I've addressed it with the team, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Jake Trotter, you're up.
Yeah, Kevin, going back to the winner last winter, it seemed like there was a possibility that AVP could be the play caller. There was some talk about seeing how he did in preseason games. Obviously, things changed beginning in March. But could you kind of go through your confidence in him as a play caller for Sunday night based on your initial reasoning for hiring him and bringing him here and potentially giving him that job, that role initially?
Yeah, AVP's been a huge part of our offense's success. He's a huge part of play calling. I may be the one sending it in there, but there's a ton of dialogue occurring between me and AVP and the rest of the offensive staff. So he knows kind of the things we believe in. He knows how we play. He spends every waking moment with the quarterback, which is important when you're talking about trying to get him in a rhythm and comfort level and those type of things. So I have a ton of confidence in AVP's ability to get the job done.
You gave a game ball to Joel Bitonio Sunday after the win, longest tenured guy, been through a lot of losing now, doesn't get to play in the playoff game. Can you kind of go through, how you feel for him given everything he's been through?
Yeah, I think, I texted with him this morning. I'm very disappointed for him. I gave him that game ball for a reason because he's a big part of what we do. He's a big part of our culture. So yeah, it is disappointing.
Thank you, Jake. We have time for two more. One question apiece, please. Aditi Kinkhabwala and Mary Kay Cabot. Aditi, go ahead.
Thank you. You were unfortunately in this situation a week ago as well, where you had to do so much work virtually. What did you learn from that, and what do you maybe change or alter this week because of that?
Yeah, Dee Dee, it feels like we've been virtual for a long time. Even when we were in the building as coaches, we were meeting virtually. We didn't have any in-person meetings. So we haven't had an in-person meeting with players in months. So we figured out a way to cover ground. We figured out a way to install and keep people's attention and have them learn the playbook, learn the game plan, and they've done a nice job with that. And then we'll go at 1 o'clock here and have what we're calling a virtual walkthrough where we'll show cards to the players and have a dialogue and have it be interactive on their jobs and those type of things. So it doesn't replace the physical work, but I think it's the next best thing.
Thanks, Aditi. Our final question goes to Mary Kay Cabot.
How will you carry that banner that you have all season long, just in terms of, staying positive, staying upbeat, making sure that you help set the tone for your football team this week, even though you have to do that from home?
Yeah, I think the guys understand what I'm about. They understand what our team's about, and that will just continue to be the message. We got a big game this week. I think that's an understatement. Everybody understands what's at stake, and I think they're excited about the opportunity.